This is the third video in the series of mast cell tumor treatment. Please, if you had any question, leave it in the comment section. Thank you.
Mast cell tumors are one of the most common skin tumors in dogs, but they're also among the most clinically unpredictable. What makes them dangerous isn't just the mass itself, it's the biology of the mast cell. In this lecture, we'll walk through a strategic multi-pronged approach to mast cell tumor management that focuses not only on tumor control, but also on protecting the patient from the systemic consequences of mast cell degranulation. Mast cell tumors behave very differently from most other tumors. When neoplastic mast cells degranulate, they release histamine and other vasoactive mediators. Locally, this causes redness, swelling, bruising, and ulceration. Systemically, it can lead to gastric ulceration, hypotension, coagulopathies, and even respiratory distress. So, clinically, we're not just treating a lump, we're managing a systemic disease process. To manage mast cell tumors effectively, we need to think in three parts. First, we counteract mast cell degranulation. Second, we protect the gastrointestinal tract. And third, we directly target the tumor cells themselves. In practice, most patients will require elements from all three categories, sometimes simultaneously. The priority in mast cell tumor patients is controlling histamine release. This is especially critical during tumor manipulation, biopsy, or surgery. Drugs in this category aim to reduce pruritus, edema, vomiting, and wheal formation, and they play a significant role in stabilizing the patient. H1 antihistamines are the frontline drugs for blocking histamine's effects on blood vessels and smooth muscle. Diphenhydramine is the most commonly used agent, especially in acute settings, while drugs like chlorpheniramine or cyproheptadine may be used for longer term control. It's important to remember these drugs don't treat the tumor itself, they protect the patient. One of the most overlooked aspects of mast cell tumor management is gastrointestinal protection. Histamine strongly stimulates gastric acid secretion, which means dogs with mast cell tumors are at high risk for gastric and duodenal ulceration, even if the tumor isn't in the GI tract. H2 antagonists and proton pump inhibitors both reduce gastric acid secretion, but they differ in potency and duration of action. H2 blockers act quickly and are beneficial in the short term. At the same time, proton pump inhibitors provide more complete and longer lasting acid suppression, making them the preferred choice in high risk or chronic cases. Omeprazole is considered the gold standard for long term gastric protection. It irreversibly blocks the proton pump and suppresses more than 90% of acid production. However, its effect is not immediate. It takes several days to reach full potency. So, in critically ill patients, it's often combined initially with an H2 antagonist. When ulceration is suspected or confirmed, additional protection is needed. Sucralfate acts locally by binding to ulcerated mucosa, forming a protective barrier. Misoprostol, a prostaglandin analog, enhances mucosal defense and inhibits acid secretion. Misoprostol is especially useful in steroid associated ulcers, but strict pregnancy precautions must be followed. So far, we've focused on protecting the patient. Now we move to therapies that directly reduce tumor burden. These treatments aim to inhibit mast cell proliferation, induce apoptosis, or destroy tumor tissue outright. Glucocorticoids are among the most versatile tools in the management of mast cell tumors. They reduce inflammation, decrease histamine release, and induce apoptosis of neoplastic mast cells. They are commonly used as neoadjuvant therapy to shrink tumors before surgery or as palliative treatment in non resectable cases. Because steroids increase the risk of ulcers, gastric protection is always essential. Tigilanol tiglate represents a newer approach to local tumor control. It's administered via intratumoral injection and works by causing direct tumor cell death, disrupting the tumor's blood supply, and activating a localized inflammatory response. This drug is approved for non metastatic cutaneous mast cell tumors in dogs and should not be used in cats. This slide is critical. Tigilanol tiglate must be administered with a strict mandatory protocol. Pretreatment with corticosteroids and concurrent use of H1 and H2 antagonists is non negotiable. Failure to follow this protocol can result in severe systemic reactions and even death. Operator safety is also essential due to the risk of accidental self injection. For small, isolated mast cell tumors where surgery is not possible, intralesional triamcinolone may be considered. It can provide temporary tumor reduction but is not intended for long term control or metastatic disease. Dose limits must be strictly respected to avoid systemic effects. There is no single drug that treats mast cell tumors effectively on its own. Successful management requires a coordinated strategy that addresses the tumor, the gastrointestinal tract, and the systemic effects of mast cell degranulation. The key is to tailor therapy to the patient, the tumor grade, and the clinical goal, whether curative, neoadjuvant, or palliative. If you found this lecture helpful, consider sharing it with fellow veterinary students or interns. Understanding mast cell tumor management is essential for both exams and real world clinical practice.